Okay, I'd like to call the regular City Commission meeting of Tuesday, March 5th, 2019 to order, and start by asking all of you to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Approval of the agenda.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have an agenda, and there are copies available at the back of the commission chamber for our public that is here. Approval of the minutes. We have two sets of minutes from Tuesday, February 5th. We have a motion to approve.
So move.
Yeah. Second.
Any comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Communications. We have a couple of communications regarding resignations from boards and commissions that we need to thank for service and accept. If we could have a motion for those.
So move.
Second.
Any comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We do not have any elected officials with us this evening, so we'll quickly move to public participation. Seeing none, public participation is closed. Agenda item number 1.
Give the explanation.
This is regarding the Public Safety Department's participation in the Oakland County SWAT program, and we have our chief with us this evening, so we'll give him the floor.
Yes. As I noted in the memo, basically what happened was we had a local team that was made up of Royal Oak, Huntington Woods, Berkeley, Beverly Hills, and Ferndale. And what happened was because the SWAT team was so small, like 14 officers, it made it very difficult and expensive for some departments to afford to have 3 or 4 people on. In fact, Royal Oak had 4 officers on. So what happened is, I think it was Ferndale, a few people, when officers became either retired or came off the team, they found it very difficult in regards to the cost to put another officer on the team. So as it dwindled down, as the amount of men on the team, we met as chiefs and decided to see if we could reach out to the county and be part of their team. So we were very fortunate they accepted that offer. So what that does, it allows these departments like Royal Oak, instead of having 4 officers, or even Ferndale or Beverly Hills, having 2 or 3 officers, they can just put 1 on, because the team now is made up of 50 officers, but we reach out throughout the whole county. Our officers are actually sworn deputies. Joe Agiloni is actually already sworn in through the county. The price is the same, everything's the same, the training's the same. But what's nice is that with a 50-man department, if we have only 3 officers working and there's a call out, Joe won't have to go, because there's a pool of 50 officers to respond. So it's very beneficial. As a small department, it's very important that we still contribute. I mean, I have an officer in hazmat, which is very important. Now I have an officer on the SWAT team, which would be important, search and rescue, and also on OCTAC. And what that does is, you have to remember, as a small department, we need our mutual aid partners to come in here. So they're going to expect that we participate. If we don't participate, it'd be very difficult to use their services. And we need those services, because we can't afford our own SWAT team or hazmat team and things of that nature. So that's why I'm asking just to have this approved to allow him to stay on the Oakland County team.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve?
So move.
Any comments or questions for the chief?
Because of the fact that we're involved in a lot of cooperation, is there any incentive money that's available to to us out there. I realize that this is standard budget, but is there any way we might be able to actually get some money back to the city?
Well, in regards to the SWAT team, that's exactly what happens. If they're involved, we would utilize them to execute search warrants. So typically when you execute a search warrant for a crime that's committed in Huntington Woods, typically the person you're executing a search warrant on is not living in Huntington Woods. So whatever community we have to go to execute that search warrant, whether it's related to drugs or whatever crime it is, there's a real good chance of some form of a forfeiture. You could get $1 million in a forfeiture, or at least hundreds of thousands of dollars in certain forfeitures. That money then is split up between all the cities, the prosecutor's office, when that occurs. So that's how you can actually recoup some money in regards to a SWAT team.
I just wondered if there were any government programs that incentivized.
You mean as far as grant money? A lot?
On the basis that our city is involved in a lot of, there's a tendency now, it seems, at least in some government programs, to support cooperation. So even though in the past we've paid for it or we've used forfeiture, and we have usually been on the benefiting side, I just wondered if we actually could earn some money.
Yeah, as far as the SWAT teams, no. In regards to in hazmat teams, no. That is true, though, when you start to consolidate for central dispatch and things of that nature. A lot of the money, in fact, they really push for that. Like we're dispatching through Berkeley. But if you were to get a regional dispatch someday out in Oakland County, if that was ever to occur, the state then will help fund that because they would rather have regional dispatch. So there are things like that. But in regards to the SWAT team or the SRT teams, no, not at this point, no.
Okay.
Any others? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, Chief. Item number 2 is the second reading of the ordinance regarding the Code of Ordinances for the fireworks. Do we have a motion to approve?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve our ordinance as it was drafted and as we discussed at the last meeting, which acts to restrict the days and times that fireworks can be used in the city to the minimum number of days prescribed by the state statute.
Any comments or questions from the commission? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 3 and 4 are very related. They just cover 2 years, 2019 and 2020. But we do need to take them one at a time. Amy, do you want to?
Sure. MDOT has a new program for road grants that are specifically for small cities such as Huntington Woods. There is a 50% match to the grant, but because we are doing the sewer road programs in 2019 to 2020, probably 2021, we are eligible for this grant. Now, the way it's set up right now, they're going to award money for 2019 construction and also 2020 construction, but they didn't indicate when they were taking those applications. So we're putting one in for 2019 now. We're putting in one for the work we're going to do in 2020 now. On the off chance that they want both of those programs in the loop. So there is a resolution of support from the City Commission that's required with the grant application, and there are items 3 and 4.
Do those require shovel-ready?
Yes.
Okay. And we will be shovel-ready?
Yes. Bids are going out right now for the sewer. This is for the replacement sewer work for the replacement of the pipes.
Okay. And so,
and the road.
So we would use our 50%, or we would use our bond money as a 50% match?
Yes.
Okay, so we get double.
We have a motion to.
So move.
Second.
Other comments or questions?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to comment.
Please.
I want to commend Amy on jumping on this opportunity. The Transportation Economic Development Fund, the TEDF program, has changed from what it used to be, and I think that's really great that we jumped on this. This is not, from what I understand, a pot of funding that's always available, so I think time is of essence, and the fact that you took the leadership to draft these forms and, you know, get us ready for this is really great. The resolution is a very important part of the application, so I'm really glad to see this on the agenda tonight and that we can help push this along. The grant does require that 50%, and our projects, actually, we should be in a good position because we are giving more than 50%, and so it's very great. And I'm excited and hope that we'll be able to get this funding.
Yes, if we can get the maximum is $250,000 a year. If we can get it for 2 years, that's $500,000. We'll be able to recoup on the project.
Well, and if we have the ability to save, there still is thought of infrastructure at the federal level, and they're no longer interested in 2080, at least that's what they said at the workshop today, but they would be more interested in 50-50, so we could have a chance to really expand the money. Although you can't use the federal money from one project that we're building the second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have a motion for the 2020 program.
So move.
Second.
Any other comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 5 is a matter of considering support for the reinstatement of the tax credits for development in historic districts. This is a resolution that we passed last year, but it has been reintroduced at the state level. And so the Michigan Historic Preservation Society has asked for an updated resolution from Huntington Woods. We have a motion?
So move.
A second.
Any comments or questions?
Yes, I would hope that we also could get a resolution sometime in the near future for something similar to this at the federal level. They stopped funding this a number of years ago, but it's a second incentive.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We have a matter of recognizing the career of Michigan Historic Preservation Network Director Nancy Feingood upon her retirement. We have a resolution in front of us. I'm just going to read through it. This is a resolution of the City of Huntington Woods City Commission in appreciation of the career of Nancy Feingood. Whereas Nancy Feingood joined the Michigan Historic Preservation Network in 2002 and assumed the leadership role of executive director shortly thereafter. Whereas the City of Huntington Woods created a Historic District Study Committee and Historic District Commission for the Hill Historic District in 2004. And whereas the City of Huntington Woods created a Historic District Study Committee and Historic District Commission for the Rackham Historic District in 2006. Ms. Feingood's preservation efforts and expertise has greatly benefited the City of Huntington Woods. Ms. Feingood has always made herself and the Michigan Historic Preservation Network readily available to the City of Huntington Woods and our staff. Whereas Ms. Feingood's dedication to preservation and preservation efforts have benefited the Metro Detroit area. Now therefore be it resolved that the City of Huntington Woods wishes to express appreciation to Nancy Feingood for her wonderful 17-year career with the Michigan Historic Preservation Network and her help and guidance to the City of Huntington Woods. This resolution is signed by the mayor, dated today. Just as a side note, Huntington Woods was the first city that she worked with in establishing a historic district in her career. And she presented in front of the city commission and explained to us the whole process as we were developing our historic district network, and actually uses us as a model when she's talking to other communities throughout the state. So she has been a great help with both of our historic districts. We have a motion to accept the resolution.
Second.
Support.
Any comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. We have 8 sets of reports and minutes. Do I have a motion to receive and file?
So move.
Second.
Any comments or questions?
Yes, a couple of things in the Library Advisory Board. I'm liaison to them. There are $8 movie days, including 1 movie ticket and a 44-ounce popcorn, valid the first Monday of each month, valid at any Imagine Theater with a Huntington Woods library card. So if you go in on Monday, show your library card, you'll get a movie ticket and 44 ounces of popcorn, which is itself worth $8. I think my wife just spent that much on it recently. There is a reading collective, which now consists of Huntington Woods, Ferndale, Oak Park, and Berkeley libraries. Each library hosts an event. First event will be Meet the Author event, April 11th at Berkeley First, 2820 12 Mile Road in Berkeley. There is a wonderful thing if you would like to take advantage of your library card. There is Canopy Streams award-winning films. You can actually download really great titles. It's fairly easy to use. Check with the library about how to do that.
Any other comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Reports and minutes are received and filed. We have warrant number 348. Do I have a motion to approve subject to full audit? Any comments or questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Moves us to our city manager's report. Any questions for the city manager? All right. Moving on to commissioners' remarks. Commissioner?
No commissioner remarks tonight. Thank you very much.
All right. Commissioner Elder?
Got nothing tonight. Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem Jenks?
I'll go with the nothing, but I do have some stuff. The governor introduced today the idea of increasing the fuel tax by 45 cents over the next year and a half. It will generate $2.5 billion. But once that occurs, we end what's called the budgetary shell game. Statutory earmarking. The general fund had to put money in so we could maximize our dollars for road building from the federal government. We have to put in 20 cents to get 80 cents back. They will not have to do that. That will now stay with the general fund. It restores the general fund money back to the higher education budget, ending a significant redirection of school aid fund revenues. And then it returns $500 million in school aid fund revenues, which were shifted to higher education, back to K-12 and preschool. But what it will generate is $2.1 billion in new funds for critical transportation improvements when fully phased in. Now, the problem is for our roads to really be done state and local, we need about $50 billion. So this is a drop in the bucket, but it's in a positive direction. That's what I learned today, going to listen to a presentation that SEMCOG did. Rocco was also there.
Thank you. Just one quick comment. The Men's Club auction is right around the corner on Saturday, March 23rd. The auction books will be delivered to every home in the city this weekend. Please take a look at it. Please notice all our advertisers. They do a great job of supporting the Men's Club and our community. Not only do many of them advertise, but many of them give us gifts as well. So we appreciate their efforts, and when the auction book hits the street, that usually makes tickets sell pretty quick. So if you haven't got your ticket yet, make sure you get to the rec center and buy your tickets. That, the meeting is adjourned.